Welcome to the Take Care Sis Podcast with me, Ki and Kiki.
Join two friends for a conversation around self-care in real life. We'll talk about anything on the spectrum from bubble baths to setting boundaries to managing friendships and more.
As your sisters, we also just want to provide a weekly check-in. Like big sis asking little sis, sis, you good? So come on in, sis. Let's talk about how we can take better care of ourselves.
Hey, Key.
Hey, girl. Hey.
How are you?
It is beautiful outside. I haven't made it out there yet, but it's beautiful outside. So I feel a lot better when it's all sunny and shiny and warm. So I'm doing good. How are you?
I feel you. I feel the same. I'm glad that the weather is kind of warming up, and I'm hoping that it stays that way. But I know that this weather is going to do what it wants to do.
I mean, Mother Nature, she finna come back out and be like, and another thing, because it's only the beginning of March. She gonna get us one good time in March and one good time in April, and then she gonna go on and be like, fine, I'm going away.
Right.
But yeah, the only bad thing about the weather changing is my allergies. So if I'm doing this a lot,
I know why.
yeah, I'm not trying to be shady this time.
I understand. Trust me, I understand. Luckily, my allergies have not been acting up yet, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
Man, the pollen was on my car the other day. I was like, because in my head, you and I had talked about changing your scenery and going outside to work. So I was like, bet I'm gonna start incorporating these walks and stuff like that. And then, I forget that I have allergies and I'm allergic to North Carolina. So I don't know if I'm really gonna be incorporating these outside walks like I said I was, because I'm gonna be struggling a little bit.
Listen, I understand completely. Like that's how it be.
Huh?
That's just how it be.
Right. So for self-care last week, I was supposed to, or you were supposed to be working on your smartwatch or making sure you're moving. You get your smartwatch together, girl.
I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. Sis, I really don't know where it is. I'm trying to backtrack my steps. I haven't seen it in a couple weeks, actually. So I don't know where it is.
Okay. Oh Lord. So what did you do for self-care last week, friend?
But I did walk. I did walk.
What did you do today?
Yeah, I went to have brunch with one of my friends just to catch up.
That's very self-care.
That was really fun. And I had some drinks, so I'm very happy.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna make her laugh, y'all, or I'm trying to keep her on track so we can end this episode early. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. All right. So today,
what did you do for self-care last week? You always try to run away from the question. I don't know why.
It's not intentional. What did I do? Oh, so you and I were kind of in the same vein in the sense that we haven't really been doing physical yoga a lot. Mm-hmm. But sis been getting on her mat a lot more. It has a lot of reasons to do because I have been taking these walks and, these old hips and whatnot. But yeah, so I've been getting on my mat and I did that a couple times last week. So that's what I did.
That's good. And like you said, we both have been in the same boat. I've been trying to do the same thing. Like even if I just get on my mat and do like a back bend with my blocks because I'll sit at my computer all day, that feels so good. That back bend feels
That's such a good idea. And I loved your little reel that you did when you did your wheel bend. That was cute.
Girl, that was like when I was doing those bends, I felt my bones cracking, hurting, snapping, all that stuff. You know, it looked all cute on Instagram, but you know, in real life, they'd be like, you know.
Yeah, what we can't hear.
All right, so what are we talking about this week, sis?
We are going to talk about goals and like goal setting, that type of stuff. We mentioned it in a previous episode or a couple previous episodes, and yeah, we're bringing it to you today. So I think I mentioned this new way, or if I didn't, I'm mentioning now. You know, again, I don't want the diet culture people jumping down my throat, but I am on Weight Watchers because, you know, COVID came and did a number on the body and whatnot. So I got to get it off. And this is just for me. You know, I'm not comparing myself to anyone else. But at the end of the day, I am a Black woman, and heart disease tends to run heavily in the Black community, but especially higher amongst Black women. I can't give you the statistic today because I don't know it off the top of my head, but I'm trying to keep the doctor away, y'all. So I definitely am trying to lose some weight and maintain a level of activity. So, but it's a little bit harder now, especially working from home, because, you know, I try not to leave the house. I try not to leave the house, and COVID still is lingering. So yeah, it's a little harder. But I was listening to a Weight Watchers podcast, and it was talking about, I forgot what the point of the Weight Watchers podcast is. I really did. But they brought up the concept of S.T.A.R goals. Now, I know we've heard of SMART goals, but they were talking about S.T.A.R goals. You know what S.T.A.R goals are, Kiki?
I actually do not. So I'm excited to hear what they are.
All right. So S.T.A.R goals. The S, can you guess what the S is? Can you guess? Can you guess?
Specific?
Yes, yes, yes. It's specific. So just like SMART, the S is specific. But this time, and it's, you've probably been taught this with SMART goals too, but you want to be painfully specific. So if Kiki wants to go for a walk every day at noon while she's working. So Monday through Friday, Kiki's going to go for a walk at noon for 30 minutes. There you go. That got hella specific. So it's more than just saying, I'm going to go for a walk every day. Because then when you don't end up going for the walk, you feel defeated. And, you know, then a lot of us are like, okay, well, I'll restart on Monday. Nah, you just, no. So that's the S. T. I'm going to help you out with this one because it didn't make sense to me either. But T is truly doable. So once again, you want to say something that is truly doable. So like realistically, I know for me, I could never say, I'm going to go for a walk every day at 12 o'clock because my schedule varies. Sometimes 12 o'clock, I'm eating lunch. Sometimes 12 o'clock, I'm lying. I'm eating breakfast. But sometimes 12 o'clock, I'm in the middle of a meeting. So I can't say I'm going to go for a walk every day at 12 o'clock. But what I can say is I can pick a better time, one, or I could bring it down to like 3 days a week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will schedule my lunch hour at 12. And during that lunch hour, I will go on a walk. That I can say. So you want something that's truly doable. I'll just finish out. A is active. Active is focused on what you can do and not what you are taking away. So this is really good when it goes to like eating, right? So you don't want to be like, I'm not going to have sweets this week. No, you want to fill your A with things you can do. So I'm not going to have sweets, but what I will do is when I have that 3 o'clock clash or that 3 o'clock crash where I want chocolate at 3 p.m., I'll change your workout time or change your walk time. At 3 p.m. when I feel that crash, I will go for a walk instead. So that's something active. I focus on what I can do. I can go for a walk. as opposed to have that chocolate. Now, knowing who I am as a person, I'm gonna probably still come back and have the chocolate, but that's neither here nor there. I want to give you guys an example. And then R is relevant to you and no one else. And this was a doctor that was talking about this. And so he made an interesting point. He was like, you want to have a goal that's relevant to you and no one else. So not your spouse, not your kids, not your doctor. And I was like, wait, time out, pause. You don't want to have a goal that's relevant to your doctor? And in the podcast, he explained, he was like, yeah, your doctor is going to tell you, because that's what doctors do. And especially ladies, as soon as Black women, because the BMI chart, I don't think it's for us, right? I don't think it's for us. Right. But they literally will look at that chart and be like, ooh, you need to lose some weight because you're da-da-da-da-da. And like at one point, I still had a high BMI, but I was like straight muscle. And so, we had to pull out the tape measure and everything in front of the doctor. And I was just like, yeah, so you really still gonna tell me I'm obese, but this was when I was fit, y'all. I was I had a low body fat. I don't remember what it was at the time, but yeah, I had a low body fat, but my BMI was still high because I carried muscle well. And so I don't think BMI is for us. But that said, when you go to the doctor, the first thing the doctor tries to tell you, well, you need to lose some weight, right? Duh, I know that, friend. But you want to make this goal relevant to you. So you're not losing weight because your doctor wants you to. You're losing weight because I want to live longer. Or I'm losing weight because I hate the way my body feels when I I'm losing weight because I want to be cute while naked. That's my goal, y'all. I want to be cute, naked, and cute when I'm in a bikini on the beaches in the Caribbean. That's my goal. Just being flat out and transparent, y'all. I want to be super cute, naked, and while partners never seem to care about that little back fat that you got, I do. I don't want to be like, and then I look down and I see it. Yeah, I don't like it, but he doesn't seem to care. Anyway, I'm moving on. Yep. So that was S.T.A.R Goals. It's important to remember goals are fluid. Sure, you want to obtain them, but setbacks do and will happen. So you want to think progress, not perfection. So what is a goal that I could improve on, or what is something that I can progress, but I'm not trying to be perfect at it? So again, like I said, at 3:00, when I be like, sure, I go for a walk. But I probably come back and have the chocolate too, but I might have less chocolate. I'm just saying.
I feel you.
Yep. And then when you've encountered a setback, you don't think, how didn't it, or you think, when you have a setback, you think, how didn't it go well? You want to be non-judgmental. And this is, something that we yogis are constantly telling you guys to do. Take thoughts, but don't judge them. Take thoughts, observe the thoughts, but you don't have to judge them, or you don't have to keep putting yourself back into those thoughts. And this is the same way when you have setbacks in your diet or on your journey to self-care, right? You'd be like, dang, I didn't get to do X, Y, and Z this week. It's okay. How didn't it go well? Is it because your schedule was overloaded? Is it because you spent too much time outside chit-chatting with the neighbor, and so then you didn't actually have no time to walk around the block? Like, what was it? And you don't have to make a judgment. You're not any less of a person because you didn't get it done. It just was what it was. Next week we do better. So Kiki, why should we set goals?
So goals are important because they give us a direction in life. So we found an article by Success Consciousness, which is entitled "Why is Goal Setting Important?" And it gives us a few reasons that goal setting is important and how it helps us in our process of actually completing our goals. So we will have the link to that article in our show notes.
So
You learn what they are.
I learned what they are. Mhm.
So the show notes, y'all, is just the description of the episode. You'll see that when you click on our episode, wherever you are listening to this podcast. So why is setting goals important? Number one, it sets a direction. It gives you direction in your life to know where you're going. It's like you're creating a map for yourself for what you want in life and how you want to get there. Number two, it helps you, it motivates you, and it makes your life a little more interesting. So when you have a goal, you are constantly moving towards the destination. Your goal is the end point. And then you have little stops along the way that help you get towards your goal. So it motivates you to keep going and reach your destination. Number three, your goals help you to focus your mind. Now we talk about how much our mind is cluttered with so many things on a daily basis. When you set goals for yourself, that helps you to focus your mind on that specific goal. And it helps you to not focus on everything else that's around you. And that's just one way. I know that there's other ways to kind of focus your mind on one thing, but setting a goal is one way you can do that. Number four, setting a goal is like having a roadmap. And I said this earlier. So you're creating a roadmap for yourself. You have your current destination where you are right now. So think about how we used to have the maps in the mall where they say you are here. So that's your, what'd you say?
I said they're still there. Trust me, I know.
So you are here. That is your starting destination. Your end point is where your goal is. So that whole journey in between is what you're going to take to get there. So it's just giving yourself some direction, giving yourself something to look forward to.
Can I
And
think
one, yeah, go ahead.
before you move forward? So I know that sometimes goal setting a direction and then having a roadmap. I know sometimes they seem synonymous, but they're kind of different. And I think of it like this, right? When I decided that I wanted to be a yoga instructor, right? That gave me in my life at that moment purpose and direction because I was in a low point. I needed something to do, I needed something to focus on. So teaching or becoming certified became my goal. That gave me direction, right? And now having a roadmap is when you begin to break down set goals. And so, like we were talking earlier about the STAR goals, but having a roadmap is like, having direction is like, all right, I want to go to, I want to go back home. I want to go to the DMV, right? That's
Mhm.
my direction. Having your roadmap is which route is I actually going to take to get there. That's how I tend to look at those two. That's what makes it different for me. Okay, that's it for now.
Well, that kind of goes into the next one when you said that you basically had direction when you found out you wanted to be a yoga teacher. Um, Next point is setting goals helps us to create hope and confidence. And as you said, it was probably a low point in your life and you were just trying to figure out what to do next. So having that goal helped you work towards it, but also gave you a little bit of confidence, like this is what I want to do. And it gave you hope. Yeah. It was like, this is my direction in life. I know where I'm going. I know what I want, and I'm going to go and get it. Right.
Right. Word.
And then, and then the next point is the journey is no less important than the goal. So I always tell people to enjoy the journey. No matter how much you want to focus on your goal, sometimes it's going to take a few sub goals to get there. So enjoying the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Say that again.
I said a few, Lord. Mm-hmm.
Right. Um, It's going to take you a few sub goals to get to where your destination is. So enjoying the journey along the way helps you to track your progress, to know that you are making progress towards your goal. And that'll also boost your confidence as well, and it makes you hopeful, and it just motivates you to keep going. Like, I'm already a third of the way there. I'm halfway there. I'm over halfway there. Like, it just motivates you to keep going each step of the way. Might take a while to get there, but if you're enjoying the journey as you go, you won't have a problem getting to your goal. And that's the last point is enjoy the road. Just as we said, enjoy it. Sometimes we get so set on the goal that we forget to actually enjoy the entire journey. Like,
Yeah.
take some time to actually celebrate yourself as you are moving past these sub goals, or these points along your journey, these points along your roadmap towards your destination, right? Celebrate yourself. No matter how small that sub goal is, celebrate yourself. Make sure that you're giving yourself compassion along the way as well, because I know that sometimes we hit these sub goals, sometimes we won't, or sometimes we have to take a detour to go around and get back to where we're supposed to go. That requires a lot of self-compassion as well. Don't beat yourself up for setbacks, as you were saying earlier. Just enjoy the journey, celebrate yourself, and keep going.
Yeah. Like, I think about how many people can relate to, all right, graduate high school, go to college, perhaps go to grad school, come out, get the job, get the house, get the spouse, have the kids. And then you look up and you're 40 or maybe 40 plus, and you look around, you're just like, what have I been actually doing these years in my life? Because you didn't enjoy it. You were just so busy goal setting and goal obtaining and, hashtag goal getting, but you didn't really enjoy the journey. Like, where is and this is why we do this podcast. We want you to make sure that you are enjoying the moment, enjoying the journey. We want you to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, so you don't wake up at 50 and then turn around and be like, where did my life go? Like, enjoy them kids, but you can't enjoy them kids if all you do is work all day, and then you come home and having kids is work. You work all day at work, the profession that plays you, and then you come back home and you work for them kids, and then you look up and you're 50, 60 and be like, well, what did I do? What did I do? Like, my parents crack me up. My parents just retired, and like, one thing they commonly say is, we gonna start living our lives now. And I'm just like,
you should have been living your lives.
Y'all been doing respectful. Right. What have y'all been doing? And
that's from the mindset of the older generation, where they just went and came home and that was it. Like, their whole goal in life was to work and make money and retire. And then when they get to retirement, that's when they quote unquote live. And that's not what we want to do, y'all. We want to live now and then still make it to retirement and still live some more.
Okay. What she said. And so this is a perfect segue, and we kind of already hit on this already, is, what does this have to do with self-care, right? First and foremost, last week we talked about languishing, right? And if you remember, languishing is that middle ground. You're not in a happy space, but you're not depressed. Now, we kind of gave y'all a very loose definition for two reasons. One, because we have read it in an article, but two, because we are not mental health professionals. So I ain't finna diagnose nobody. But what I can say is depression is often loosely diagnosed as you not having like hope, confidence, or no direction. That's how a lot of therapists will define depression. So we just said in our goal setting that goals give you directions, goals give you a roadmap, and goals create hope and confidence. So there we know we're not depressed, because we are still doing our goals, still doing our goal setting. So we're not depressed. We might not be all the way up here like, So that's what languishing is, in the middle. But to make sure that we don't go to the depressed, setting goals was one of those things that you can do to help combat languishing. What else you got, Kiki? How does this relate to self-care?
It is self-care because if you are setting goals towards your future, remember we talked about the different types of self-care in the beginning. So goals are what's going to help you to take care of yourself physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, and professionally. So you're going to have goals in all of these settings, right? So think about physical self-care. You're going to have goals that are going to help you towards your physical self-care. So health goals, like maybe you're planning to eat right or eat certain foods. Maybe you're planning to add more movement into your day. Maybe you're planning to add more personal time for yourself, our pedicures and manicures. You're just planning to take care of your physical body, and you have to set goals for that. Now, we always equate physical goals to our kind of weight loss or weight management, and you do have to set goals for that. But what I liked about the STAR goals, I was about to say STAR goals, is that they said that you have to set goals that are relevant to you. So when I think about physical self-care and weight management, I think about setting goals that will help me. So I always talk about how I want to add more movement into my schedule. Like I want to go walking more. What is my goal with that? I know I want to lose weight, but that's not my main goal. I don't focus on the number. So one of my goals is to be able to walk 2 to 3 miles without breathing hard. That is relevant to me. I want to be able to walk 2 or 3 miles without breathing so hard and panting like a dog. And I would feel like I've accomplished my own goal, right?
She's preparing for the zombie apocalypse, y'all. She wants to be able to walk it out and not breathe hard. That's what it is.
No. Just like you were talking about heart disease earlier, it's good for our heart health. So, I mean, being able to walk without breathing so doggone hard is definitely good for your heart.
Definitely good for definitely.
Health goals for you could be I want to eat more vegetables. So like making sure that you put more carrots and broccoli on your plate instead of filling it up with meat.
And let me give you a hack for veggies, y'all. This is you, and many of y'all that are parents have probably done this with your kids before. But here's your hack for eating more vegetables. Start adding it into shit. So take, for example, one easy way, I did this a lot when I was when I was vegetarian. You can add spinach or kale or carrots. I've seen you can add that, all of that, to spaghetti. And even if you do it with meat, right? So even if your sauce is a meat sauce, add some carrots, add some kale, and if you add kale and spinach, it's pretty. I'll say that. So it's visually appealing, and spinach and kale, they don't taste like nothing. They're about to absorb that tomato sauce, whatever. Oh, and when it comes to the tomato sauce, you can add more tomatoes. So you can literally add chunks of tomato. So you're not getting the heavy processed tomato sauce, but you're adding more tomatoes. So that's a sneak way. Just start putting it in stuff. Excuse me. If you are one of those smoothie in the morning type of people, throw some kale in there. It's gonna look ugly. It's gonna look ugly. Because
for you.
It's gonna be good, and you don't even taste it. But that's my little hack for making sure I get more vegetables in.
No, I understand. See, mine is just like, I guess, more of a portion and plate size. So like making sure that my portions of vegetables are more than the meat that I choose. That's just me personally.
I like that. That's cool.
That helped me when I was quote unquote transitioning to try to be vegetarian for a while.
You've been
We are reformed, trying to be vegetarians. Yeah. But that's with the physical goals. If you think about emotional goals, maybe you're setting a goal to journal about your emotions every day, or maybe 2 to 3 times a week. And this is just for you to be more self-aware of how you're dealing with your emotions and how you're expressing them.
It's a lot of feeling acknowledgement. This is all coming from a Cancer, y'all. It's all coming from a Cancer.
I said every day or 2 to 3 times a week. Remember, this is relevant to you. Doesn't have to be me. You. Maybe you go once a week, Ki. Since you're sitting over there looking at me like that. Maybe you do once a week. That is fine. This is just a goal that you set for yourself. So financial goals. Y'all know we talked about financial goals and Ki just shut down on me and shut her screen off and all that stuff. It's okay though.
Laptop. I'm good now.
It's okay. It's okay though. So financial goals, we know that you set a goal for how much you want to save, maybe in a week, a month, or a year. And you figure out what it takes to get to that goal. So if you have to put a certain amount of money aside per paycheck, or per month until you meet that goal, then that's how you do it. And professional goals, of course. What kind of certifications are you looking forward to getting? What kind of educational opportunities are you looking forward to taking to increase your knowledge on your job? What is it going to take to get to those areas or to get to that certain certification or skill that you're trying to learn? So that's how setting goals equates to self-care in all of those areas. Do you have anything to add, Ki?
Yeah, I had 2 things to add. One, because you then shamed me so dang bad about my financial goals. I solicited a friend. So y'all go check out Mind Over Matter Financials. She's on Instagram. She has a website, Mind Over Matter Financials, and her name is Tiffany. So yeah. There's that. But 2, the only other thing I want to say is, as long as y'all are making the goal to do self-care, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I got.
That's what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
It's for yourself, right?
Yep.
Make it relevant to you.
Talk to the people I know. I'm good to go. All right. So it's the goal setting. It's the goal setting episode. We can't walk away without setting a goal for self-care for ourselves this week. So Kiki, what is yours?
I am going to continue with my movement goals. Depending on the weather, I do want to get outside and walk at least twice this week, if not 3 times. If the weather is cold, because I don't do cold, I don't walk in the cold.
Nope.
I'm going to switch that for an actual yoga practice inside. So whether that's 30 minutes to an hour, either one.
I like it. My goals for the week are, I need to catch up in my grant writing course. But this course was professional self-care for me. I am trying to get some professional development. So I need to catch up in that course because my time management skills haven't been so great. Catch up, and I definitely want to get on my mat. I'm going to say twice this week. So spend 20 minutes on my mat twice this week. I'm gonna go ahead and be star specific. I am going to do Monday and Thursday for 20 minutes on my mat this week. Boom.
There you go. There's your example of STAR goals. Yeah. What I said. I'm not going to go into more detail.
All right, we finna go because, I'm gonna be honest, I need a nap, friend. Self-care Sunday, I need a nap. So we finna go. But tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on all social media outlets as this curvy yogi. That is curvy with an I, not a Y. You can also find me on my website, thiscurvyyogi.com, where I have classes. You can sign up for one-on-one sessions, all of those things. And where can they find you, Ki?
You can find me on Instagram at yoga_with_Ki. And you can find us on Instagram and Facebook and all of the major podcast platforms. You can find us at Care Sis Pod.
Yes, ma'am. And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends. Tell a friend to tell a friend so we can get more people listening to.
Tell your friends.
What she said.
All right, y'all. We want you to take care, sis. Kiki, love you, girl. Have a great day.
Take care, sis. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.